I have always been a believer that a whole lot of things could be improved if more people were concerned about making a difference. I even more firmly believe that those of us who are fortunate and those of us who have been able to accomplish certain things in life, maybe to generate a little revenue or generate some influence, have a responsibility to give back and to improve the community because anybody who is successful is standing on somebody's shoulders. And so once you stand on somebody's shoulders, then I think it's your responsibility to position your shoulders so somebody can stand on yours. So I'm so happy to have with us today a young man who is successful, but who understands the importance of not getting too wrapped up in his own success and feeling the responsibility to give back. And that young man is none other than our homeboy. He's from Central Georgia. You know, he within shouting distance to Macon, Georgia, Mr. Bud Dupree, who's a renowned football player. Matter of fact, I just introduced him in Del Vecchio Finley, and to talk about his football skills. Del Vecchio was late getting on the Zoom because he was watching the highlights, the Bud's highlights. So that just bespeaks of how well he has done as a football player. But the thing that impresses me is that he feels that it would not be robbery to share his success, to share his influence, to share his resources with and in the community. And I'm very adamant about that because if more people who are in Bud's position, particularly African Americans, in our country, in our community, would take the position that Bud is taking as it relates to being involved in the community and giving back and starting a nonprofit and starting a business, man, the entire community will make phenomenal and measurable progress. So I'm sorry for the sermon, Bud, but man, I just had to say that because I feel that. And I feel like that, and I'm just so appreciative for your joining us today. Excuse me. And so what I'm gonna do, I'm just trying to get out your way. So
Ha,
you talk about talk a little bit about your upbringing in Wilkerson, talk about your football career, and talk about your involvement and why you're involved in the community. Talk about business and the importance of business and what it can mean to the community. And don't forget, being a parade marcher today for Juneteenth. I started praying when I woke up this morning, man, and saw that rain. I said,
yes,
Lord,
sir.
let it clear up. Let it clear up. So, ladies and gentlemen, oh yeah. And then you can talk about being a real homeboy, because you're going to be playing for the birds,
Yes,
so we can
sir.
almost walk to see you play. Not quite walk, but, we can get up there to see you play because it's my understanding that you recently joined the Atlanta Falcons, and I heard people say a lot of good things about you and your ability to make a contribution to that team. You got it, bud.
Nah, man. Once again, thank you for having me on. You could have chose anybody, but you wanted to choose me. So I'll never take that for granted. I never take that lightly. Always a blessing to be in front of an outstanding member like yourself. And man, long story short, I grew up in Wilkinson County, Georgia, Toonsboro, Georgia. My dad's from Danville, Georgia. So back and forth from there. My mom lived in Toonsboro, Georgia for a while, and then she moved to Macon, Georgia. That's how I got familiar with Macon by coming back and forth with her. Um, just seeing Macon, knowing how to being involved in Macon, and that's what kind of brought me to the liking of Macon. And I got drafted in 2015, first round pick. Played with the Steelers for 6 years, 4 years on a rookie deal, 1 year on a fifth year option, and 1 year on a franchise tag. Tore my ACL in 2019, 2020. Then from 2019, and I went to sign a deal to Tennessee. Played in Tennessee for 2 years, Tennessee Titans for 2 years, and now I'm on the Falcons. So it's going to year 9 now. I'm feeling better than ever, feeling fresher than ever on the football side. So I'm more than excited, more than ecstatic, though, to go out here and prove myself to be one of the top players again this year coming forward, as well as playing for my hometown, home state, and I love it, man. I love the opportunity to be there as well, and also I was blessed to be the Grand Marshal today, like you said. That was a blessing. The whole Macon culture, the Macon Black culture, they provided great. It was a great parade day. So today, they provided a lot of stuff that was different for me. So, seeing it, I've never been a part of a Juneteenth parade, never seen a Juneteenth parade. And I'm just excited that, it's something coming forward they can bring awareness to it, especially the younger crowd. Everyone says the older crowd always, as you grow older, you get wiser because you're starting to dig into more culture of yourself, starting to dig into more of the world. But being young and seeing the kids out there, man, they're learning about Juneteenth early, because I'm not gonna lie, I probably found out about Juneteenth when they first started mentioning it a couple of years ago, when it wasn't a national holiday yet, but I just had to dig into it when they first started kind of like bringing it about. So, I dug into it, got all of my information about it. But for people to be 20 right now, 21 right now, for high school kids were there today, middle school kids, for them to know this early what Juneteenth really symbolizes is a blessing for them, because, it's early and they can just get that culture and see how blessed we have became and how far we have came this far upon. Yeah,
It
man,
it becomes even more important, excuse me for interrupting you,
no, you good.
with what's happening with our history in this country.
Yep.
So if we don't take the initiative to tell our kids and teach our kids and show our kids and inform our kids about our history and their history, then it's going to be a devastating effect on our whole culture. So I appreciate those remarks, and I totally agree with you as it relates to passing the torch. And I'm a firm believer in that. We got to reach back. Well, not you, because you're young, but I got to reach back. I got to reach back and try to bring young people up and then push forward to try to educate them. So I'm in total agreement, and I encourage all my colleagues and my peers and my compatriots to take that same position as it relates to the community. So I just want to plug that in, because a lot of people don't realize, that our history is in danger. The retention of it, the keeping of it, the informing of it. So
Yes, sir.
we need to keep history alive. So
Most definitely do. Most definitely do. And what a way to do it, like today, man. Marshall Talley and Leslie Muse Dixon. They were they were key parts of it. It's NAACP chapter was there today. District Attorney was out there today. There's a lot of great people there today, man, who were stepping stones in this community, who were a part of the Juneteenth parade. And it just lets you see that the kids can see that it's a lot of people that look like me in these higher positions. And that just makes them more confident. Not necessarily, and I like to say it to a point where it's not saying that we don't believe we can do it, or they don't believe that they can do it. It's the point of just actually seeing it and be like, oh, I can do it too. And that's what just makes it that much easier for children of our age and children of this. Because we all know these 2000 babies in this era are a show me world. They're show me. You got to show them what's going on. They don't believe it until they actually see it. And we all have experienced that with these kids. And I'm saying kids like I'm so much older than them, but it still to me, they're younger than me. And no, they don't believe it until they actually see it. So for them to see the stuff going on and see the people in the higher position that look like them and come from the same community they come from, same background, same stories, same upbringing, man, it's tremendous role for them to have to play, because they won't believe you until you actually show them. So, man, that always plays a part in the growth of the community, like you said, Doc. And man, it's tremendous for that nature.
yeah, it really is. So talk a little bit, if you would, because I think it's important. Yeah, you successful. Yeah, you're a hell of a football player. Yeah, you got good contract, but you're still touchable,
Yes,
and you're
sir.
still involved in the community. and you don't take it for granted. And it seems to me that you feel like you got an obligation and a responsibility, to give back to the community. And talk a little bit about what drives that, because you got a lot of people who are successful, and you got a lot of people who riding on the backs or people who made them successful, who won't even look back, man. And I think that's just phenomenal and noteworthy and praiseworthy, that you're doing this. So talk a little bit about what drives you to do that.
Man, I think the big part of it is for me growing up and seeing people, like you said, successful people in other areas and other than where I grew up at, seeing people where I grew up at, a couple people who I knew were successful, like you said, they didn't come back. And hearing about people's stories that people didn't come back and affect the community. And the quote unquote um, stereotypes of when you get money on how you should act. The reason that happens is because people without money always stereotype the people with money, and they say, when I get money, this is how you're supposed to act. It's no written handbook that says this is, you have money. When you get money, this is how you supposed to act. Here you go. This is the money handbook. So it just played with me. I'm like, I'm the same person I was in 2008, 2009 to now. I'm just smarter and I'm wiser. I know how to make better decisions and apply myself. So when it comes to that, it's like I didn't want to be the person that they say got money and forgot about where he came from. And not necessarily say I gotta give to everybody I see, like hand this person money. I don't want to. I don't. That ain't the point. The point is to affect the youth, affect the kids, so people can see change, influence people to want to do better, influence people to like. I pull up in your nice car so people can see your nice cars, not stunting and not flexing, but being able to say like, dang, I remember Bud was a snotty little boy running around, and now he's driving this, and I'm his best friend. I want to drive the same thing. So my daddy is hanging out with Bud driving that car. I want to be like my daddy's friend. So I love when my best friends, their kids call, and I call them and their kids run to the phone, Uncle Bud, can I come see you play football? Can I come see you do this? Can I see you do that? That makes me happy because we want to come stay with you. We want to come do this. Because now I know I'm influencing their youth. And that's tremendous to me. Like I said, what makes me happy and how I engage success is how many people around me can I make successful. So that's what I gauge success on. And it's hard sometimes to really take the toll on it because sometimes you will feel like you're failing yourself when the people around you don't want to be as successful as you want them to be. So you still have to keep pushing and keep striving, even though, certain situations may not go how you want it to go with your family, with with your close relatives, your close friends. But man, you got to think about who you're doing it for. And it's more than one person. It's a whole community. It's not just your family, it's other people's family. Like you can affect the world by just being around and just showing them, not even saying a word. You can learn so much from a person, but not a person saying one word. So that's how I looked at it. And people are scared to spend money in their community. I don't care about losing money in my community when I know I'm doing it better because I'm gonna make sure that it's going for the right cause. And that's the point of it, man. And I can keep being an imprint, keep being a success story for these guys, for them to actually know me. Because especially while I'm young, because I know when my kids get old, I'm gonna be going around being a soccer dad, soccer mom. My girl gonna be in a soccer mom. We're gonna be going out to games, so I'm not gonna have as much time to be in the community impactful as I am now. But while I'm young and my kids are young, I want to make sure that I'm setting the stone and setting the table for everyone to come back and have a seat later on in life.
Right. That's outstanding. So talk a little bit about, I published the Black Pages, so I'm real interested in business. And I understand the role that business can play as it relates to economic development in our community.
Yes,
So
sir.
it's phenomenal. Hey man, that you that well rounded. You're a professional athlete. You got a really good successful business that you're hands on with. You've got a nonprofit that you're trying to delve into helping the community. And from an individual perspective, you also to do a lot in the community. So that's a pretty heavy combination. And I congratulate you again in doing such a good job in touching all of those important areas in our community. So talk a little bit about business and the role that it could play in improving our community and what kind of motivated. I noticed you mentioned how you are affecting employment by hiring
Yep.
over 150 people. I did my research too, you know.
Yeah.
So
Yes, sir.
talk a little bit about business.
Oh man, first of all, man, business. I've always wanted to be a business owner. I want to be an entrepreneur. Been entrepreneur minded for a while. I feel like I want to do something new all the time. That's just something I look at. So I'm always thinking about goals, thinking about different things to do. So I'm sitting on ideas right now. I'm sitting on business ideas, sitting on business ventures. I'm just ready, for my second part of life after I'm done with football. So I'm waiting on to get done playing football when I retire. And I'm gonna have a lot of things I got to do for the community, not only for this community, but for the world in general. And man, me personally, man, being able to employ, like I said, over 150 people in the Macon area, it's a blessing for them. I love when they walk up to me and tell me how I changed their life. I help them provide for their family, help them get out of situations. Man, it's a blessing. And always that's what, like I said, that's another thing that makes me happy. And that's what makes me smile and brings joy to me. And also, Vibes is a restaurant I have in Macon. I also have a record label where I have artists, and I've signed, have gotten two artists signed to major label deals. So that changed their lives, multi-million-dollar deals for both. And no, they got opportunity to change their family lives, change their lives, and also just help me with my brand. And the bigger the brand, man, is the bigger we all get. So I'm looking forward to doing way more things in the future right now. I'm trying to do some lofts as well, um, just to bring back as much as I can, man. But like I said, the goal is to change the community. You have to make money is cool. For me, that's the goal, is to make money. Everyone makes to make the most money they possibly can. But when I'm doing that businesses and I'm seeing the families that I'm changing, giving people opportunities, kids I went to school for this job, these kids person been bouncing around trying to find a house, trying to find a home, and like when I say home, I mean like a job, home, or stable job. And they run into me, and it's like, oh, everything's still family oriented. So to be able to provide that for the city, man, is a blessing, man. Especially with the inflation going crazy right now. Provide people with stable jobs. As long as they want to work, I can. We can make some money. So
Yeah.
that's the biggest thing I do with.
Well, the moral of that story is that you can make money and make a difference. You know what I'm
Definitely
saying?
can.
Yeah,
Yes, sir. You can.
just because you make money doesn't mean that that's all you're supposed to do. You can
Yep.
take that money and you can make a difference, and you can still have money, and you
Exactly.
can still have the position of making a difference in the community. And that's the kind of concept that I try to spread throughout the community, because we can be better, we can do better. We got the resources we need, we got the intelligence we need, and we really got the money if we learn how to share it and to help each other and to kind of circulate it more regularly in our own community. Then you can see the whole
Mm-hmm.
community rise and everybody wins. And then when I say everybody, I don't mean just black folks, I mean the entire community. A rising tide
Exactly.
raises the whole ship. For example, these 150 people that you've employed, well, that benefited the entire community, not
Yep.
just them, not just their family, but everybody, because they are citizens in the community. They spend money. Sooner or later, they'll volunteer for different organizations. So that's a real good thing. So
Exactly.
how about the birds this year, man? Let's get excited about the birds. Let's do the dirty bird, man.
Most definitely, man. I'm predicting we're gonna be pretty good, man. It's gonna be a pretty good season for us. No new staff along with Coach Arthur Smith, man. He's brought in a couple of new guys, and they're all excited, man. We're all excited. I'm excited to be here. The guys are very accepting. I'm one of the leaders on the team, leadership roles on the team right now, man. And I'm like I said, man, it's a blessing to be able to feel stability, feel stable. And man, just for my first time in my career, I just feel like I'm in a place where I could call really home, and just make an impact.
Well, everybody's excited about that. It was good news, and people are volunteering and posting it, and
Yep.
because and it's not just because. And I'm gonna tell you this: it's not just because of your football ability, which is, remarkable, but it's because of your personality and your involvement, your non-football activities, just as influential in our community as were your football activities. So, man, thank you for all you do. I too am excited about the birds and your involvement, and I too am excited about all the things you do. I'll be in touch with Carl. We're doing some things that I'd like to familiarize you with at some point before it's too late, and we'll talk about that later
Okay.
because it's about you and not about me. So I appreciate it, man. I'm glad you enjoyed Juneteenth, and I'm glad you made those
Oh,
remarks. And
definitely.
I hate. Well, I told you my story. I ain't gonna tell the world, but you,
Uh,
you know what happened to me. Uh,
Most definitely.
Otherwise, but I'm glad it was successful. So you got a couple of minutes or a couple of seconds for your final words.
Man, like I said, once again, man, thank you for having me on. I'm gonna continue to do great things in the community, continue to strive and continue to move forward. So, man, and also, man, I'm an open book too. So, if anyone sees me out and have anything that they want to ask me, I want to tell me, that can help me in my future. Like I said, I'm always listening. I'm always trying to learn much knowledge I can learn as well to help my growth as well, and I'm trying to help others grow as well too. So, man, once you get to know me, you'll see that. And I know everyone thinks athletes and this XYZ be stuck up, and man, come on me, man, you'll get the realest, and that's how it's gonna be. So appreciate you, man, for having me and everything else.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you, and I'm just like you. I'm an open book also. Sometimes people tell me, say, man, not only did you follow that turnip truck, you bump your head. You just try to help
Yeah.
everybody. But that's the way I feel, and it has worked for me all these years. And I guess I just continue bumping my head until I get knocked all over the place. It doesn't bother me.
That's it.
So I appreciate. This is a call to action. I'm your host, Alex Habersham, having interviewed Mr. Bud Dupree. Tight end, I guess, with the
Yeah.
Atlanta, not tight end, defensive end.
Tight
With
end in high
the
school.
with
Tight
the
end in high school.
yeah. And basketball player too. I told you I did a little research too.
Yeah, state champ very soon though. Don't
Yeah,
forget that part.
yeah, but a great guy and a real asset to our community, to his family, to a lot of entities in our community, and it's such a pleasure to be able to familiarize you with him and all of the things that he does and will do. And he's an open book, and we are excited that you're going to be playing closer to home, so we can, you listen. You're about an hour away, so we'll be
Yes,
coming
sir.
to the game, and I think it's going to benefit.
Yeah.
From a financial perspective, I think it's going to benefit the Falcons too, for a lot of reasons.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you, man. Keep on doing what you're doing. We'll exchange information once we get through with this. I'll be sure to connect you with Del Vecchio because he's a great guy, and y'all can do some great things together. I want to publicly thank Takara Dupree, your first cousin, who's really like your sister, for connecting us and making this happen. And if there's any way I can help you, man, I hey, this ain't Clairol, so I've been I've been around a minute, and we'll
I
continue
thought it
to.
was. I thought it was.
No, it ain't. We'll continue to do the things we do. This is a call to action. I'm your host, Alex Habersham, having interviewed Mr. Bud Dupree. Have a great day.
www.makingblackpages.com.
I am Mayor Lester
I'm Commissioner Elaine Lucas.
I'm Cherry Blossom Queen.
I'm Fire Chief Shane Edwards.
Hello, I'm Sheriff David Davis.
I'm District Attorney Anita Howard.
Hey, I'm Superintendent Dan Sims.
We're Macon Bibb County Commissioners.
My name is Alex Habersham.
I'm Congressman Sanford Bishop.
I'm Mallory Jones from Macon, Georgia, and I love my city.
And I love my city. I love my city.
And 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 I love my city.
I love my city of Macon, Georgia.
Hey, what's going on, man? This is your boy CMD out there. Everybody put their walking shoes on, man. We're gonna stroll around my city, Macon, Georgia. Y'all ready? Come on.
I love my city. I love my city.
Welcome to my city. You got a dog top, shot, one of them around me.
So many things for you to do.
Let's go.
Come take a walk around my city.
Let's walk around the city. Where Otis from? Where Little Richard was born, the Allman Brothers' son. Remember where I feel Walter started Capricorn. We love making music here, we making more to come. From chart toppers to pine toppers, we making hits. Let Blue Moon or Bing along throw out the first pitch at Carol Creighton Park. In March 1 blink, them cherry blossoms be making my whole city pink. From pancakes to poodles and everything between. Now that's my kind of party, Jason Aldean. Summer haze is hot, but making nights chill. At Washington Park, posted up on Coleman Hill. We making mayhem at the Hay House, right there, y'all. The house hit by a cannonball, it didn't even fall. Sydney wrote poetry a few blocks away. A great place to visit, but a better place to stay. I love my city. Come on, y'all, fuck with me. Come on. Right there. Hungry, I'm leaving Tatler Square. Headed to the Douglas Theater with a Mercer Bell. Now we at H&H, making bacon on my plate. Everybody bow your head, let Nancy say the grace. A new way hot dog, I used to sit where Oprah sat. Sipping on wet willies, making me feel fat. I need to walk it off, so I'm headed across town. Lose a couple of pounds, walking around up Muggy Mounds. I'm headed up the hill, yeah, I'm still walking. We at the birthplace of Macon called Fort Hawkins. Second Street Bridge now, so don't you get lost. The flood of 94, the only bridge that we can get across. Remember helping each other, making the difference, making new friends while we were making the right decisions, making each other smile, making the city better, making the type of memories that's gonna last forever. Come on.
No matter how far I roam, all I think about is making it home.
Okay, I see what you did there. Let me try it with
That's right. No matter how far I roam,
okay.
all I think about is making it home.
Come on.
Oh, yes, I am from the city where you will have plenty to do, making your dreams come true.
Yeah, you see, I boast about my city, so you can call this a brag jam. Happy 200, that's history in the making, man. I love my city.
Come on. Every day's a good day. Straight from the heart of Georgia. A place for friendly people. I'm so proud of my city.
I love my city.